What is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and today we are back in Forza 5. Now, in this episode, we're going to be testing the Infiniti Q50 Eau Rouge, which is basically a GTR sedan. That's pretty much what they've built here. But instead of doing a drift build, we're going to, since this is all-wheel drive, what we're going to actually do is instead of swapping the entire drivetrain out to rear-wheel drive and, just going full-out drift build, we're actually going to test this car out in all different aspects. We're going to test its handling. We're going to test how it is to get, just to get it sideways. We're going to see how it accelerates and just see kind of how it sounds, and just really get a grasp on this car and see how it all works as far as what they've been able to come up with, because this thing isn't really even out on the road yet, and they've been able to bring it into Forza 5. And also, I really want to see how good of a job they've done actually bringing it into the game and just seeing how it performs.
Infiniti Q50 Eau Rouge.
Now, it's also, keep in mind, it's not going to be quite as fast as a GTR, obviously, but it's also going to be way faster than, say, for example, an ISF. Now, would I choose this over an ISF? I don't know. That remains to be seen. The ISF is one of my favorites, especially to drive in Forza, but I really, really like the way this car looks, and in a minute, we're going to actually see how this thing drives. Now, we're going to actually start at Spa-Francorchamps, because I really like the track, and it's a really good place to test out both handling and not exactly top speed, but acceleration and speed in general, because you've got that long straightaway on the one side, but then you've also got a lot of nice cornering sections, some banked corners, some not banked corners, and some really tight corners, especially like the first corner, and then the second to last corner, as well as the last corner, are very, very tight. So we'll be able to test pretty much all the different aspects of the car. Now, the interior looks great. It looks really nice. I love the red accents all over the place. Let's rev it up a bit and see how it sounds in stock form. Actually sounds really good. It sounds awesome, especially for that being the stock exhaust. It sounds incredible. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna leave it on the drift HUD, just because we're not really going for lap times or anything like that. We're just gonna see how this thing drives. So we're gonna begin with your basic launch. I'll launch at about 5,000 RPMs. Wow! Alright, first corner, let's see how we do. Okay, a little bit of understeer. Come on, come on. 160. It's kind of weird because even though it's all-wheel drive, the tail end will step out a little bit. It's not anything crazy. It's not going to get all drifty on you, but it will step out just a little bit, like right here. And it's kind of cool because the front end will bring you back into line, but it's kind of fun because you can let the rear end of the car move around a little bit, and that kind of diffuses a little bit of that understeer that we were having earlier. As far as I wouldn't call it an understeer issue, but it's just kind of the standard understeer that you get with an all-wheel drive car. And wow, yeah, we kind of slid off the track. But as you were able to see, we kind of transitioned as far as the corner goes. I was able to weight transfer the car and get it to bring the back end around. It's not that difficult to get this car to slide out. It's definitely louder stock than the GTR, that's for sure. Okay. You have to learn it a little bit. You have to learn how this thing works. But once you learn it, it's actually not that... I mean, it's not that hard to place when you get it right. which is why I'm taking these this corner set just a little bit slow. But as you can see, if you turn hard and just give it a ton of throttle, the back end will come out. It just howls. It sounds really, really good. It'll give you some nice backfires, too. Alright, first corner. Let's see if we can do it a little better this time. A little bit more to the inside. Oh, much better. That's the exact line I wanted. Out onto the main straight. Come on! See if we can top the speed we had last time. Come on, 165. Oh, that was, yeah, a little understeer issue there. That's not the car, though. That was me. And power out. It's got a lot of grip. It really has a ton of grip that you can use whenever you want to, really. And even if the back end of the car tries to slide out, it will catch you. That's the thing. It's got quite a bit of a safety net, actually. And braking. I tried to get the rear end to come out. I'm trying to experiment with a couple of different tactics. See that? Now that time I e-braked it and kicked the clutch, and the back end came right around, but then the front end just basically caught it and brought it back into place. And it's an interesting characteristic. It feels obviously way different than a rear-wheel drive car if that's what you're used to, but I feel like it could be a decent amount of fun, at least, if you, I don't know, if you got good enough with it. And see, there's the back end coming around again, but the front end has you. It actually lets you have a little bit more fun than the GTR does, as far as what it'll let you do and how much it'll let you mess around. Alright, let's see if we can get a clean lap. I'm going to try and really focus now and see if we can get a clean lap. Oh, that was wide. If you don't have it just right, you're going to have understeer issues big time if you don't get it right. I'm so used to driving rear-wheel drive cars where if I get a little bit of understeer, I could just boot it and the rear of the car will come around and fix all the understeer issues. Powering out. Come on, come on, come on. That was 166 as opposed to 165 that we had last time. Okay, that was almost way too much. Every time I try to get 1 extra mile an hour out of that straightaway, and that time I think 166 was a little bit much, as opposed to 165 last time. And when we did 165, we were able to brake in time. When we did 166, we weren't quite able to brake in time. You could definitely get on the power really early on, though. And it's balanced nicely. It's got a really nice power split. Ah, wide again, come on! Hey, bring it back, jeez. I actually didn't have any understeer issues on that corner until this lap. And I think a lot of those issues come from me not having a lot of experience with all-wheel drive cars. I mean, I drift a lot, and the cars that I race are generally rear-wheel drive pretty much like 90% of the time. So I very rarely drive all-wheel drive cars, and I'm not very used to the platform or the way it feels. But this car, I feel like, would be a good intro to the platform for anybody that drives rear-wheel drive cars like 90% of the time like I do. But I don't know, it depends on what your previous experience is. If you're used to driving front-wheel drive cars, this might feel a little bit weird because the rear of the car does slide out a little bit, but the front end will catch you and pull you back into place, but not quite as much as you're going to have with a front drive car. I always brake a little bit more than I need to for that corner, just because there was one time when I didn't brake for it that much at all, and just flew past the corner entirely, so I definitely think that, I might brake a little early on that corner, but there's good reason for that. Dang it, I did not mean to hit the wall. And it will do donuts, that's for sure. Now, we're going to go ahead and test the top speed, and I will see you guys back when we get to the other track. Alright guys, so we're back, we're here at Le Mans, and we're ready to see how fast this thing can go flat out. I'm just going to do another launch, because the last launch we did was actually really good. I'm going to try and launch a little bit lower this time, like 4,500. The gearing is really short. Handles the corners very, very nicely if you're really paying attention, really focusing, and you're really on it. That's when it actually rewards you. This car wants to be pushed. Alright, we're gonna get a little bit of a running start. Third gear, 70, and go! Coming right out onto the straight at 120 already. Let's see what this thing will max out at. 170. Into 6th. 180. Come on. That's 190. Can we get 200 out of it stock? Yes, we absolutely can get 200 out of it stock. And it has, actually, wow, it has a 7th gear. Okay, I wasn't actually sure if it did or not. 207, 208, 209, 210. Remember, this is completely stock. 212. 212, I think, is going to be where this thing is going to max at. 212 miles an hour, which is not bad at all, considering this thing is completely stock, completely 100% stock. I want to see what this thing can do in the top speed department after upgrades, because that is absolutely insane. Now, also consider the fact that this has 4 doors, and it just did 212 miles per hour in stock form. That is absolutely crazy, considering what this car is. So, it's been, I think it's definitely been successful at what it's set out to do. I mean, yeah, it was kind of tricky learning it on the circuit initially, but once you actually learn how this thing really works and you get it out there, that's when it really starts to move, that's for sure. Oh, I forgot about this corner entirely, and it's gone. That's not gone well. Alright, so to finish off the test, I wanted to bring this thing to the airfield and just have a little bit of fun with it and see how it does just being thrown around the airfield. And as far as going sideways and things like that, and just, I don't know, maybe just doing crazy stuff with it, I have no idea. But I'm just going to try a ton of stuff and see what happens. Yeah, classic all-wheel drive drifting. Being able to bring it back from like 90 degrees plus and and it does just fine. Let me try that again. Oh yeah, that's fun. That's a lot of fun. Let me see about doing it into the hangar. Oh wow. Oh god. Damn it. That was going so well too. It really was. Oh no way. Oh wow. I'm surprised we made that. Oh, it's got the ability to just slide crazy sideways all day long. It's got plenty of power to just get this all-wheel drive system to let you slide around. Ow. I knew we were kind of headed for that. And it looks as though we've gotten completely stuck in the restarting screen. I was originally planning on restarting and just kind of messing around with the car a little bit more, but it looks like we're not going to be able to do that. But even so, I really enjoyed this car, and I'll definitely be doing more with it. I'll be using it in, I'll be doing a top speed build of it because I really want to see what it'll do fully upgraded, and then when I mess with the gearing a little bit. And then also, I definitely want to see what it'll do when swapped to rear wheel drive, so we can do some actual drifting with it, as opposed to just kind of power sliding it or just ripping the e-brake and just kind of letting the all-wheel drive system bring it back into place. So we're going to be definitely doing more with this car in the future because I really enjoyed it, I really liked it, and I highly recommend trying it out if you haven't already. But if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave me a like, tell me in the comment section down below what you guys thought of it, and if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe for more, and I will see you guys in the next one. Talk to you guys later.